Hey there. I am doing a challenge with Rico this month, and we're working on one behavior that we are trying to improve, right? And so, one of the things, little backstory, he has been having a hard time with is, I shouldn't say hard time with, but it's an ongoing thing, right? Is understanding leg aids. He hates having leg on him, first of all. So we've been working on changing his association with leg aids and hand aids and all of that stuff. And he's been doing really well, right? Like he's a champ. But one of the things that we've been doing steering bridleless. He also works often in a bitless bridle that I sort of makeshifted. You'll see it at some point. It's basically a halter with some fuzzy around it and then some reins attached to it. But it works for him. So, and it didn't cost us a fortune. So I am doing this challenge, and the thing that I wanted to work on was him moving off of my right leg specifically into what will be my left rein, but towards the rail, so that he gets a little bit of lateral movement, not necessarily like a hard turn left, because he will do that, but it's just without trotting off. Move forward and over, right? I don't know if you can see my hands. Move forward and over into the left. So this is something that he, sort of naturally has an issue. He's an off-the-track thoroughbred. Right is a challenge for a lot of those guys typically. So, something just to kind of put in the bank and keep thinking about when you're doing. Now, the training plan that I put together for him involved a couple of things that I thought would help with his moving towards the right, help him get the concept that I'm asking, and we can clean up and perfect and worry about all the feet, but he's got to get the idea that he's got to go left first, right? So what's his favorite thing to do? Target. He loves to target things. You can put a stationary target up someplace or a feed pan on the ground, and he is going to go check those things out. Also, it's time for him to start to learn turn on the haunches. He'll do turn on the forehand, which we call booty over, but he hasn't really done turn on the haunches. So I have maybe one other time or two other times, nothing really in a very long time ago. One time was in a lesson recently where my trainer and I have started with turn on the haunches. And it just is easier for him to kind of figure out the target. Now, the beginning of this, you're going to see me kind of muddle it up a bit and bumble around until I figure out. But we're going to end with a really nice one step to the left with his left leg, and I was really super happy with that. I mean, this is a short session. This is all we did this day, and he was super, super, super about it. So let's watch. So this starts with us coming into the session, right? He was in a paddock, and I set up the camera and set up his target over there on the fence, and so he walked towards the target. I was happy with that. Kind of knew he would, but I just reinforced it. I was like, yeah, that's good. And then I'm also going to change the cue that I give him here, because typically it is target, but we're going to go to what I'm going to use in the tack. Hopefully that he will sort of translate it, or that I'll do a good enough job of teaching it to him that he can translate it. Let's do that. Now, he is not terribly comfortable with me on his right side. He's not bad, right? But he's really, you can see him trying to get me on his left side. That's where he's a little bit more familiar. And we do a lot more on that side. So that's kind of right there. I'm trying to say, I hear what you're saying, but we have to do this on this side because I need to work this way. Now, he kind of got in my space here, and I asked him to back. And afterwards, I thought, that's really kind of confusing for him because he backs really well, and so now he's going to think this whole session is about backing. So that kind of messed this up just a scotch. And then I was kind of sloppy with my target here when I start to ask him to, because I'm not actually trying to ask him to back. But the placement of the target was really key. And he's telling me he doesn't really understand. This is what he thinks he's doing. I'm going to reward him for that try in a second here. There, good. Yep. It's still too back. It's still too much back. Now he's like, hey, can I get a cookie for that? I did it. And I'm like, that's not really what I wanted. And can you come back to me? He comes back to me. He settles down. We ask again. Now see where I'm putting that target? It's too far behind for him. And that's kind of what he taught me here in the beginning. And we fix it. But yes, there we go. So I ended up having to bring it up around his face and out more in order for him to get the idea to stretch and turn for it, not to back. And so, and I'm not pushing him with my left hand, but the cue might be too strong on the shoulder and not strong enough with my target placement. We're just trying to settle down a little bit and give him a mouthful of something. Probably wasn't the best place to do that, but, you know. We're in back there, see? Okay, so let's do something different. Let's move forward. Good, walk on. Good, nope, that wasn't enough. There. Now we're getting it. See, I had to go out and around, and the other times in between that, I missed it. Okay, good. So let's do something different. We kind of got the idea. Now we're going to walk on. Good, yes. See, now we're getting it. And so it's still too forward, but at least it's not curly back and doing weird things. So it's still that left leg out. Good. Let's walk forward and let's trot because you like to trot. And that was really feisty. No reward for that. Good. And walk and trot. And that's much softer and he'll get a reward for that. Much better. We're just trying to do something different so we're not drilling that one behavior. He likes variety. He was also telling me in this that, see this little turn to me? He's like, hey, can we do something different? This is not interesting enough for me. I'm confused, and I'm not winning. Good. And so I say, okay, can you target? And then I click before he gets to the target because it's not about touching the target. It's about going towards the target. And I'm going to change that cue here in a second. Good. He walks past the target and comes to me. Brilliant. What a good boy. Good boy. And he doesn't go near the camera. Amazing. And then he trots off like a nice boy. Amazing. What a rock star. I love that horse. He's so darn smart. He teaches me. He takes me to school every day. Good. And can you target? Super. Snacks for you on the ground. Let me eat those. We'll mull around a little bit. And he's coming towards me without me even asking. And it's not that feed pan. He is such a champ. Nice. Oh, and he's like, wait a minute. What about this side? It's okay. I need you to turn around. Come on the other side. Can you come on the other side? There you go. Good boy. Okay. And then here I change it. Rail. Good. Actually, maybe I didn't change it there. Maybe he just left me. And I said, all right, this isn't really what I want. I know you're confused, but let's try something. I give him a minute. Think around. Ask him to come. And then he does it. Good boy. Good. And let's trot off. Super. Probably could have given him a reward there for that come, but, you know, it's okay. He got it. Rail. Good. And he doesn't even get as far as that feed pan before he gets the snacks. And I'm using a mix of like some high value, crunchy, sweet thing, and then hay cubes. Let him chew for a second. Oh, and he goes past it again. I'm really thrilled by that. Yeah, he got a snack for that. Good boy. And walk on. Good. And try. Good, and walk. Nice. And whoa. I guess, sorry, that wasn't a whoa. There we go. Good. So, I must have given him the cue there. It's hard to do when I can't hear the volume myself. This camera doesn't have great audio. But when I wait to give him that reward, I'm just kind of waiting for him to settle and not get snatchy about the cookies. Okay, so here and go back to, can you move your shoulders over? Turn on the haunches. I just want you to move the shoulder over. Oh, that was good. There was no walk forward. That was excellent. That was a rock star. Yeah, I gave him a jackpot here, and we quit on that one because I was like, woo! I got my act together. He got his act together, figured it out. Well, I mean, his act is always together. And then that's it. The end.